Hey friends, you already know I've been digging through a lot of the archives that we've got. Um, yeah, just like boxes and boxes of good stuff. um, One of the things that I love seeing in some of our archives is like old pictures. So, especially some of these old ones from I think these are in the 90s, I think, like 80s or 90s. You remember going to get these prints made back when we needed photographic prints. Don't need those so much anymore. But you would send off your negatives, and they would send you these prints. Love this one of the sanctuary getting remodeled. It's cool to see those pews in there. But then they would send you in the envelope. They would send you your negatives back. You remember that? So you can kind of see if you can kind of see through there. Let's see if I can. Yeah. So I know I'm a millennial, but I studied photography, so I know quite a bit about film photography. um, and the cool thing about negatives, whether they're color or black and white, is that they are inverted. So the darks, the shadows in the picture are actually light on the film, and then it's reversed. So the things that are really light, where the light is brightest on, like, let's say a house, or if you're taking a portrait of someone, where it's the brightest is actually the darkest in the negative. It's just a fascinating thing in the negatives there. But it reminded me of our scripture for this Sunday. We're in Luke chapter 6, which is Luke's version of the Sermon on the Mount, or the Beatitudes. And in Luke's gospel, Jesus gives out a series of blessings and woes, kind of like in short succession. He says, "Blessed are those who are poor. Blessed are those who are hungry. Blessed are those who mourn. And blessed are those who are hated for my sake." And then he gives the inverse of that. Woe to those who are rich. Woe to those who are full. Woe to those who laugh. And woe to those who have a good reputation. It's just kind of this fascinating little teaching here by Jesus with big implications. But it strikes me that it's the inverted way. It's kind of like a negative. It's kind of like the inverted way of looking at our world. What we think of as being light is described as darkness. What we think of as darkness is described as light. The things that we think of as being blessings, Jesus doesn't see it that way. And it's a challenging teaching. I'll be honest with you. It's sometimes difficult to read that at different stages of our lives. It's difficult to read where the parts where Jesus says, like, you're blessed in your poverty, or you're blessed when you're mourning, because in the middle of those things, it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like a blessing. And so it's one of those moments of real faith for us to take Jesus at his word, to trust that he's telling the truth. That when we are suffering from poverty or the loss of someone that we love, when we have strained relationships, and people hate us, as Jesus says, for following him, that we can cling to him and trust that Jesus isn't far, but that he's very close. And so we're going to talk more about that this Sunday. We're going to try to, adjust our perspective, right, to Jesus's perspective here. Kind of look at the world through the inverted eyes of Jesus. So I look forward to doing that, because there's big implications for you and for me. And so I invite you just to prepare your heart and your mind to hear from the Lord about that. It's an important It's an important teaching for us, and it has big implications for us, for our church, and for our whole community if we get this right. So I love you. I'm praying for you. I'm looking forward to seeing all your faces here in just a couple days on Sunday, and seeing what the Lord does through each of you. All right, looking forward to talking to you soon. Bye, friends.